by the people.
Very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1 for the News First, where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon.
Two people brutally gunned down in Panadura and Ambalangoda. Cabinet grants approval for the contributory pension fund for the public service. Finance Ministry says IMF loan depends on China's response. Ballot paper printing delayed. LOLC Divisavya program launched to deliver books and stationery to government schools with less than 100 students.
Now the stories in detail. The opposition leader and a group of opposition MPs met the Speaker on Tuesday to discuss on the future steps that would be taken with regard to the letter sent by the Election Commission seeking intervention for funds. The meeting took place at the Parliament complex. The opposition leader and a group of opposition MPs had informed the Speaker that the Finance Secretary should be summoned to the Parliament for an inquiry over the letter sent by the Election Commission. They requested the Speaker to summon Parliament immediately to discuss this matter. HAB MPs and MPs representing the People's Freedom Alliance called on the Speaker today for this meeting. In more local news, two people were brutally gunned down in Ambalangoda and Panadura on Tuesday morning.
Crime Watch.
A 56-year-old businessman was shot dead in Pingmatta, Panadura. Sri Lanka police said the shooting took place on Tuesday close to the Pingmatta public cemetery. Two unidentified gunmen on a motorcycle had carried out the shooting. It was reported that the victim was travelling along Gaul Road in a luxury SUV when the gunmen opened fire and fled the scene. Sri Lanka police said the victim died in the driver's seat. The victim was identified as a 56-year-old Sampath Kudagoda from Kirilavala, Kadawatha. Sri Lanka police said that he was the owner of a foreign liquor store in the Kadawatha town. Sri Lanka police also added that he was building a house in Pingmatta, Panadura and was shot while on his way to the construction site. A police investigation is underway to identify and locate the shooters.
Crime Watch.
A 42-year-old man was shot dead in Kuligoda, Ambalangoda on Tuesday morning. The police spokesperson SSP Nihal Talduwa told News First that the suspects who carried out the shooting had targeted the man who was travelling on a motorcycle. Police suspect that the shooters may have used a motorcycle for their getaway. The injured man was rushed to the Ambalangoda hospital and died shortly after. An investigation is underway and preliminary investigations revealed that a T-56 assault rifle had been used to carry out the shooting.
Crime Watch.
The post-mortem into the death of Nimal Amarasiri, who died following the commotion that broke out during the Jatika Jana Balavegya protest, took place on Tuesday morning.
Sri Lanka police said that the Fort Magistrate visited the Colombo National Hospital on Tuesday morning to conduct the magistrate's inquiry into the death of Nimal Amarasiri. One other person who was hospitalized following the protest remains in the ICU of the Colombo National Hospital. A source from the Colombo National Hospital said his condition remains critical. The source added that a majority of those who were admitted to the Colombo National Hospital have been discharged. The family of the late Nimal Amarasiri was present at the morgue of the Colombo National Hospital on Tuesday morning.
The death of an individual during the Jatika Jana Balavegya protest in Colombo on Sunday was raised during Tuesday's cabinet media briefing.
මම මේ පිළිබඳ මේ සාකච්ඡාවට පැමිණෙන්න කලින්
I held discussions with the relevant officials regarding this. There was a clear court order preventing the protest march from going to Fort, Golface Green and President's office, especially at a time when an election has been called for and nominations have been called for. There's no permission for any protest march to be held other than the May Day rally as per the election law. It should also be noted that the police had given the space for the protesters to peacefully protest at the premises of the Vihara Mahadevi Park area. The protesters ignored all orders and marched towards Fort, and this was when the police had used minimum force to prevent them from going forward. Usually batons are used as minimum force in the event of a minor protest, but even batons were not used at this protest. Only water cannons and tear gas was used. It is common for a person to fall and injure himself during such a process. During the protest regarding the selling of the Hambantota port, many people were hospitalized and imprisoned as well. In minor protests that occurred regarding the incident, even MP Rohita Begunawardena was hospitalized after a roadblock fell on him. Therefore, we cannot predict the way that the government nor protesters will act. As far as I know, advice has always been given to use minimum force. The government has declared that if prior permission is received to protest at a certain location, it is allowed as a democratic right and we would not disturb it. Peaceful protests can take place.
කලින් අවසර ලබාගෙන අවශ්‍ය ස්ථානවල උද්ඝෝෂණය කිරීම ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී තියෙන අයිතියට කිසිදු ආකාරයක බලපෑමක් කරන්නේ නැහැ කියන එක රජයේ ප්‍රකාශයට පත් කරලා තියෙනවා. සමකාමී උද්ඝෝෂණ කළ හැකියි.
In more news from the political sphere, leader of the Jatika Jana Balavegaya Anura Kumara Disanayaka led a delegation to the Election Commission.
Leader of the Jatika Jana Balavegaya, Anura Kumara Disanayaka, and a delegation visited the Election Commission on Tuesday morning.
We met with the Election Commission and the 4 members of the Commission along with the Commissioner were present. The Election Commission will meet on the 3rd of March. If the election is to be delayed, a new date must be announced within 21 days. Our request was for a sooner date. The Commission considered the request. We also raised the salary issue of the public sector employees. When a public sector employee becomes a candidate, he or she must go on no-pay leave. They have taken no-pay leave from 21st of January to March 9th. We made a request to allow them to engage in their duties during the period in which the election is being delayed. That too is being considered by the Election Commission. We also highlighted the fact that the Election Commission is vested with the power to conduct an election. The Executive President, the Attorney General, the Government Printer or the Treasury Secretary are not above the Commission. Therefore, it is the duty of the Election Commission to protect the rights of the voters and the rights of political parties.
ජනතාවගේ ඡන්ද අයිතිය ආරක්ෂා කරලා දෙන එක දේශපාලන පක්ෂවල අයිතිය ආරක්ෂා කරලා දෙන එක කොමිසමේ වගකීම.
The General Secretary of the National Bhikkhu Front, Venerable Wakamulle Udita Thero, says that steps must be taken in order to prevent the postponement of elections.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe and his clan are using the constitution to do away with the people's right to vote. I appeal from all the people and religious leaders to unite to end this attempt to do away with democracy in the country. We wish to tell Ranil Wickremesinghe and the others that we are prepared to step out to win our right to democracy, even if it costs us many lives. This cannot be prevented.
Ballot paper printing has been delayed indefinitely.
The government printer said that issues surrounding the date of the local government election and the lack of facilities to continue printing ballot papers prompted the decision to delay the printing of ballot papers indefinitely. The government printer also said that the ballot papers that have been printed already have been placed in a secure location. The printing of ballot papers faced continuous interruptions due to the lack of proper police protection, lack of funding and related issues. The government printer said that if the necessary facilities are provided, the printing of ballot papers can be completed between 25 and 30 days.
Samgajan Balavegaya MP Nalin Bandara says that a discussion will take place with the Speaker on the delay in conducting local government election.
මැතිවරණයක් රටේක කල් දමනවා කියන්නේ මම හිතන්නේ ඒක දේශීය වශයෙන් උජාත.
I think postponing an election in a country is not a good thing both domestically and internationally. In the same way, the international community is especially looking at the countries that draw election maps as it shows the state of democracy being in the country. So the only problem for Ranil Wickremesinghe is that he has no votes. They say that there is no way to hold elections, saying that there are no funds to hold elections. But we are taking this up in court and in parliament as well. Similarly, Similarly, we will meet the Speaker tomorrow and discuss the matter. If the Finance Secretary, Treasury Secretary and other officials do not do their duty properly, they will have to face punishment in the future.
The Cabinet of Ministers granted approval to prepare a bill to establish the National Contributory Pension Scheme for government employees. The proposal was put forward by President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
එයනුව රාජ්‍ය සේවකයෙක් රාජ්‍ය සේවයේ බැඳීමෙන් අලුතුරුව ඔහුගේ මූලික වැටුපෙන්
8% of the government employees' salary and 12% from the government will be moved to this proposed fund on a monthly basis. The National Contributory Pension Scheme will directly apply for all future recruits to the public service. Since 2000, all public sector appointment letters carry the clause that they would be moved to the National Contributory Pension Scheme in the future. Therefore, this National Contributory Pension Scheme applies to all those who were recruited since 2016. The transition process will be explained by the Finance Minister when the bill is presented.
Sri Lanka's Finance Ministry said that the IMF funding to Sri Lanka depends on China's response to the matter.
A senior official to the Finance Ministry told Newsfirst that it is expected that China will respond positively to Sri Lanka's debt process and discussions are ongoing with Chinese partners. The Finance Ministry noted that all reports that need to be produced to the International Monetary Fund have been prepared, and once the Chinese assurance is received, these reports will be presented to the IMF. The senior official to the Finance Ministry said that it is expected that the IMF will give the green light to Sri Lanka's funding facility by the end of March 2023.
Applications are called for the scholarship program offered by the Government of India for 2023 and 2024. The Indian High Commission in Colombo stated Sri Lankan students can register for the program until the 8th of March 2023.
The Government of India is offering more than 150 fully paid scholarships to students from Sri Lanka. The Nehru Memorial Scholarship Scheme will be offering 75 undergraduate scholarships, 10 postgraduate scholarships and 5 PhD scholarships. The Maulana Azad Scholarship Scheme will be offering 45 postgraduate scholarships in engineering, science and agriculture. The Rajiv Gandhi Scholarship Scheme will be offering 20 undergraduate scholarships in IT, engineering and technology. Details can be obtained by emailing edu.colombo@mea.gov.in.
An event was held in Colombo to launch a program to deliver school books and stationery items to students from low-income earning families in the country. The program is completely sponsored by LOLC Holdings and is supported by the Education Ministry.
The launch of a program to deliver school books and stationery items to students from low-income earning families took place under the auspices of Kapila Jayawardena, the Group Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of LOLC and Education Secretary Nihal Wanasinghe. School books and stationery items will be delivered from today to all schools with less than 100 students across the country. The project is valued at approximately 1 billion rupees.
ලංකාවේ ඉස්කෝල 2671ක් තිබෙනවා 100කට අඩු. ඒ දුවා දරුවන් රූපවාහිනියෙන් දකින්න උජාරුවට ඇඳගෙන නගරේ පාසල් වලට ඒ වගේම වයස්වල දරුවන්.
There are 2,671 schools across the country with less than 100 students. On television, they witness how their own fellow students living in the cities are heading to school in pride. When they go home, their parents say the price of a book is 6 times of what it was before, and how can they afford the books for their 3 children? Just imagine what would happen in Sri Lanka if the hundreds of thousands of students decide to drop out of school because the parents cannot afford the school books they need. If that happens, the students would be involved in unwanted matters. It would even lead to a deterioration of their economic status as well. LOLC Holdings, a company that loves the people, decided to support the student population to ensure they have a future.
වදින්නට ඕනේ රටේ ජීවනාලිය වෙන්නේ රටේ දරුවන් මේ ජීවනාලිය බඳුන් වූ මේ ලක්ෂ සංඛ්‍යාත ශිෂ්‍ය පරම්පරාවට අනාගතයක් ලබා දීම සඳහා
අපේ දෙමව්පියෝ මොනතරම් කරදර තිබ්බත් දරුවෝ වෙනුවෙන් මේ අවශ්‍යතාව
No matter what difficulties they face, the parents of these children will do whatever possible to support their children. As this could be a massive burden on the parents given the present status of the economy, the Education Minister, Education Secretary explored avenues on how to provide the books and stationery for the students. It was during this process that LOLC Holdings came forward to deliver free of charge the school books, bags and stationery to the schools with less than 100 students in the country. This is a great deed for the children.
A symbolic donation of books to children also took place at the event. This is a happy day for us children during a time where we face many economic challenges. On behalf of those who obtained books and stationery today, I wish to thank LOLC Holdings for financially supporting this program to ensure that we can continue with our education.
The Faculty of Technology of the University of Ruhuna was closed on Monday evening until further notice. The decision was taken following a dispute between the students and the administration.
A group of students from the University of Ruhuna had assaulted a sub-warden, his wife and mother-in-law over an incident where students were not being allowed to exit the dorms at odd times. The trio are currently being treated at the Kambarupitiya Handapana Hospital. The university students claim that the sub-warden entered the dorms with a sharp weapon and threatened them.
He
enters the dorm in a sarong and under the influence and threatens us with profanity. He had assaulted a second-year student as well. Based on that incident, tensions were high. Thereafter, he brought in some people from outside and they attacked us with stones. This led to a brawl.
The Vice-Chancellor of the university responded to the allegations.
सामान्य उपशालाधिपतिवරු රුහුණ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ උපශාලාධිපතිවරු නේවාසිකාගාර ඇතුළට ගිහිල්ලා ඒ ශාලා පරීක්ෂා කර. ඒක ඔවුන් විසින් කරන දෙයක්. එතකොට සාමාන්‍යයෙන්
It is common practice for the sub-wardens to enter the dorms for inspection. Some students are against such inspections when they violate the university rules. We see this as an attempt to prevent such acts. If the students had an issue, they should have informed the academic staff. However, no such notification was made. We are not aware of these allegations. If there are allegations, we should have been made aware.
Dr. P.K. Subhash Singh, the Dean of the Faculty of Technology, said the faculty will be closed until further notice until the issue is resolved and considering the safety of the other students in the premises.
Shifting your attention to international news. According to the National Center of Seismology, an earthquake of magnitude 4.1 occurred in Afghanistan on Tuesday.
NCS tweeted on Sunday, earthquake of magnitude 4.1 occurred on the 28th of February 2023 at 4:05 IST. The quake struck at a depth of 10 kilometers at a latitude of 36.38 and a longitude of 70.94.
News Index, Elon Musk has reclaimed his title as the world's richest person.
In December last year, Bernard Arnault, CEO of the French luxury brand Louis Vuitton, dethroned the Tesla and Twitter CEO from the top rank. Musk was at the second spot for more than 2 months. According to Bloomberg, a surge in Tesla stock has sent Musk back to the top of the billionaires index. According to the estimates, as of Monday, after the markets closed, Musk's net worth was approximately $187.1 billion, surpassing Arnold's $185.3 billion fortune. However, Tesla chief's net worth fell by over $200 billion between November and December last year, which was regarded as one of the largest losses of wealth in recent history.
In your sports news, England became just the fourth team in Test history to lose after enforcing the follow-on, with New Zealand's Neil Wagner dismissing last man James Anderson to seal an unforgettable one-run win in Wellington.
Chasing a target of 258, England resumed play on day 5 at 48 for 1, following Zach Crawley's wicket on Monday. With England needing 2 runs to win, Wagner dramatically dismissed James Anderson after Team Saudi had got the better on Ben Foakes, sparking massive Kiwi celebrations. Neil Wagner bagged a 4-wicket haul, including the decisive wicket of James Anderson, to power New Zealand to a series-levelling win over England in the second test at the Basin Reserve in Wellington. Earlier, record-breaker Kane Williamson stroked a superb century Monday to steer New Zealand to 483 all-out in their second innings and set England a target of 258 runs to win the second test in Wellington. Former captain Williamson hit 132 and Tom Blundell was last man out for 90 as the host fought back after being asked to follow on.
From that, we bring to a close this edition of Lunchtime News on TV Bond. For details of the stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First, where the people come first, I'm Martin Satyanes, and you take care.